Welcome to Reread. We're on book 4 of the Fate of the Jedi series. This one's called Backlash. There is some awesomeness going in here as Luke starts off by fighting a Rancor, a scene that I totally forgotten about, which I thought was great. Another cool thing about this is Admiral Nithal, Admiral Dala has, or no, excuse me, Chief of State Dala has to put her on trial. She doesn't want to, but her advisors are saying, "Hey, look, if you don't, you're going to look very biased. You're putting under trial Tahiri, and the admiral's just as compliant or complicit." And so she gives a fair warning to the admiral to let her know that, look out, they're coming for you. I just thought I'd give you the utmost respect because she's a military person, and Dala can agree with military women, and stuff like that. Well, Niethal kills herself, and I remember this too. And so things are just spiraling out of control for Dala. Again, you like to say it's not her fault, but it is. Her hubris is getting the best of her, like it did in the Jedi Academy trilogy. Like, here's the thing: even though she's gained more power, gained more wisdom, she's still making monumental mistakes and learning from them over time. But now she's making a huge mistake as the chief of state, and I like that. It's well within her character. You kind of want to be understanding to Dala, but at the same time, her bias is just growing inside of her. Something she vowed to get rid of once she became chief of state is rising back within her because she's stubborn. She's just stubborn. I love it. I love her as a character. Zach is back, but there is absolutely no explanation of where he's been. I do realize that Elaine Cunningham was supposed to have a book out by this time called Blood Oath to explain what happened to him, but they don't even, now maybe they thought the book was coming out at the time of writing that, but they never, I say never, maybe they explained later on what happened to him when they found out the book was getting canceled, because he was a what if, where is he? It was a cliffhanger from the last book. So now without Elaine Cunningham, and of course he's with oh gosh, I forgot, I didn't write her name down, but one of Tenel Ka's cousins, I believe. So they had gotten together because she had always found him attractive. So how did this all come about? We don't even know what's going on. Well, that's because Elaine Cunningham's book was supposed to come out and tell us. Now, do they connect the dots later on? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember, but it's kind of jarring that this was one of the big cliffhangers from the last series. And now in this series, he's back. He's back. And no one's saying anything about where he's been or what's going on. You're like, well, as a reader, that is kind of confusing. And it's kind of wild that I did not remember this from the last time I read it. That's kind of weird. Maybe because there was so much time in between the series, maybe a year or so, or maybe 2 years, I think there was. Either way, though, you kind of forget about those details. So either way, seeing it now is just kind of, everything feels kind of off. Vistari and Ben kind of meet for the first time. They got this flirtatious behavior here. Ben doesn't know what to think of her. He's frustrated with her, but she's not like any Sith he's ever come to know, because the whole lost tribe of the Sith are different than the new Sith that we see now. Remember, they come from a different age too, which makes sense. I really like this. And of course, as Vistari is trying to escape Luke and Ben, she fakes crash landing on the planet of Dothamir and joins one of the clans, the Dothamir clans. And so they can't touch her because the clan protects their own, and they believe her, but she's a Sith, she's a liar. And then later on, we find out she's working with the Night Sisters, but not really to overthrow the clans, which is what she's telling them. She's lying to the Night Sisters too. She just thinks they make good dark side adepts, and they make good Sith one day. So they capture most of them and take them with her. But before that, she goes back to get one more Night Sister, and that's when she gets caught and busted, by the Night Sister, who exposes herself and Vistari, because she's pissed now that Vistari took her Night Sister tribe with her, and she wants revenge. But they exile the Night Sister, who begs to go with Luke, and was like, "Nope, you're not going. We're not taking a Night Sister with us who's vowing revenge on the Sith." And Vistari, though, she has been disowned by the clan, and thereby now she's put into the arrest of Luke and Ben, and then someone else. And I don't remember if I wrote his name down. I totally forgot about. I think his name is Dion. I didn't write it down here, but Dion is someone who was going to try out to be a Jedi. He didn't get it because he didn't have enough Force ability, but he's pretty good at acrobats. He's carrying a lightsaber pretty well. And Luke goes, "Looks good on you. You should keep it." He went, "Well, red's not my color, but I was thinking about doing that." Yes. And so, Luke's like, come on, you're rolling with us now. So he's a Jedi now. I guess it is so weird that I don't remember this character at all. And he's pretty big. He's pretty prevalent throughout the entire book. And it's like, wow, I just don't remember this character. It's so weird, Usually I'd remember the name at least, or saw, oh, I thought someone else did that. Okay, it was him. But this one, I don't remember anything about him, which I think is just kind of strange for me. Now, meanwhile, the Imperials, they're trying to set Dala up to fail. That's why they're stirring up all this animosity between her and the Jedi. And they have these wheels within wheels, like a fake assassination attempt on Jag that they know is going to fail, but it's going to look bad on, well, maybe the Solos. I can't remember. I think it's the Solos, but it's going to look bad on Dala. And they're just trying to drive a wedge in there. Now, Jag shows this proof to Dala, but she doesn't believe it. And I know that the Imperials, they're doing all this crazy. It is kind of weird because Aaron Alston kind of brings some realism into it, meaning they go to a costume party. One's dressed as the Emperor and does his Emperor impersonation. Everyone's laughing at him. That's pretty funny. And I can see that going down. I can see regular people, especially in the Empire, enjoying those moments. And then the other moment I really like is they're playing a new card game called Chambers. And Aaron Alston tries to make it a thing, but it's not Sabak. But they're playing these cards, and the whole time he's explaining how the game works as the Moffs are all playing this game. But I don't know, it kind of brings some realism to the Moffs and everything. And I really enjoyed those scenes. It's really good. All the stories here are pretty enjoyable. There wasn't one that I didn't like. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. So I think I explained all I liked about it. Overall, the series is moving really well. It's funny because, I mean, yeah, that's only a 9-part series, but you can tell they're more structured and more streamlined than New Jedi Order. There's not much dead parts. A lot of times when you see a trilogy, it'd be like, one book. You could have combined that book into two and made a duology, or duology could have been one. But in this one, I feel like I don't think anyone's dragging their feet. And I feel like the tempo's moving. Even Christy Golden's doing good with her books. And I haven't read the next one yet, but I plan to, of course, next time. But overall, there doesn't seem to be any lull in the series. And I've really been enjoying this. Still not as good as Legacy of the Jedi, or Legacy of the Force, excuse me. But really, really, overall, I'm enjoying it. Fantastic. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time.